Hello, everyone. I'm on the go, so I'm not going to look at the camera too much. But let me just say this. I just had to cover this topic today. I'm going to call it Tame Your Administrative Staff. Leaders can tame your administrative staff. So why is that important? It's important because when you have administrative staff, those who are basically providing secretarial duties for you as a leader, they have access to a lot of information. They have access to, strategic goals and things that are going to happen within the organization prior to other people because they work for you directly. They have access to confidential information depending on what department they're in. Usually, it really doesn't matter what department they're in. They have access to confidential information because they're side by side with leadership. They also have a level of power, in a sense, to kind of dictate the flow that you may not even know is happening. So there's like this administrative culture. And at times they'll band together and make decisions or try themselves to run the office. And more often than not, it's not always the case. Their positions are not positions of power. They don't necessarily have the highest level of education within the office because the position doesn't require that often. And so it's just like with any situation, when people get power when they normally wouldn't have it, they don't use it properly. And so what happens is you're wondering why, or maybe you don't know because you're in leadership. So what happens a lot of times, high-level leadership, they don't even know what's going on with the culture within the organization. And this is why I keep talking about toxic culture. And so what's happening is you have your administrative staff running rampant, spreading gossip, running down what's going on in these meetings that are happening, and sharing information that they shouldn't be sharing. And sometimes leaders get into these relationships with their administrative staff that are not quite appropriate. And not necessarily a sexual relationship, but they're a relationship that's not, it's more of a friendship than it is a professional relationship, which leads these people in these positions, which are, like I'm saying, they're basic level positions, more often than not. Even if you're an executive level secretary, you still only have so much, what is required of you to do within that organization in terms of power, in terms of the hierarchy. But what ends up happening is they misuse their power.